Hello students, and welcome back to the second video lecture on Unit 1. This is Kiran Shinde, Assistant Professor IICMR MCA. Now today we are going to discuss about some hardware concepts related to operating system as well as the entire computer system. So let's start the presentation. So before we start with the all hardware concepts in line with operating system, let us have a look at the basic components of CPU. Now you may have seen this particular diagram at your UG level when you have done your BCA or BCS. So the basic components of CPU are the arithmetic logic unit, that is ALU, floating point unit, that is FPU, interface unit, control unit, and the CPU registers. So the main part of CPU is its registers, because the registers are actually helping the CPU to execute all the instructions which are fired by the system as well as by the user. So the CPU of a computer system is the main unit that dictates the rest of the machine or the rest of the computer to organize the instructions. So the first component, that is register set, which stores the intermediate data during the execution of the instruction. ALU, which performs all the mathematical and logical operations. Control unit, which supervises the transfer of the information among the registers and instructs the ALU as to which operation to perform by generating desired control signals, such as read signal, write signal, as per the operation which is getting initiated. Now, there are basic functions which are assigned to CPU, which are as follows, of course, in line with how the instruction is executed by the CPU. So basically, this particular execution of the instruction by CPU is divided into these phases or these steps: fetching the instruction, interpreting the instruction, fetching the data required for that particular instruction, processing the data, and writing back the data. Now let us try to understand these stages or these steps with the help of some example. Suppose CPU is wanting to execute an instruction such as add A plus B. Now here, first of all, CPU has to understand what kind of instruction it is. So after fetching, first step is fetching the instruction wherever it is located. After that, interpreting the instruction means it is an additional instruction, it is a deletion, or it is what kind of instruction it is, what kind of operation it is. So that will be interpreted with the help of step number 2, that is interpret the instruction. After that, fetching the data which is in line with that particular instruction. Now, the example which we are discussing right now is add A plus B. It means here A and B are called as operands. So the data which is stored in these operands needed to be fetched so that the desired operation can be performed on those operands. And after that, it will be processed as per the operation. So in this case, the operands, those are A and B. So the data in A and B will be fetched in the fetch data phase. Then it will be processed as per the operation. In this example, the operation is adding. So the operands A and B, or the data in those operands, will get added. And finally, the result will be stored back. That is nothing but the writing of the data. Now, what are the various registers in CPU? Those are essentially used by CPU in order to execute the entire instruction. So the basic registers which are used by the CPU are in front of you in this particular slide. So first is MAR, that is memory address register, which essentially holds the address of the active memory location. MDR, that is the memory data register, which holds the data of that particular instruction in memory. Then control unit, which is actually responsible for raising the control signals such as read, write as per the requirement of that particular instruction. PC, program control register, which is used for storing the address of the next instruction. IR, that is instruction register, which actually holds the entire instruction. And AC, that is accumulator register for storing the results. And ALU, that is arithmetic logic unit. So these are the basic registers which are used by CPU in order to execute the instruction. Now, again, one more important hardware component in line with processor is the buses through which the interaction takes place. The interaction between the CPU and the memory, the interaction between the IO devices and the memory, and so on. So there are three different kinds of buses: data bus, control bus, and system bus. So in this particular image, you can see there are three buses which are shown here. Very importantly, we need to understand that address buses, which are effectively transmitting the addresses, are unidirectional in nature. It means they travel only in one way along the address. So if we see data and control buses, data and control signals travel in both the directions. So they are bidirectional in nature. Now, let us try to understand what you mean by instruction world. Now, before some time, I talked about the different phases the CPU actually undergoes in order to execute an instruction. So that instruction is basically having two fields. Now, let us have a look at that. First of all, understand that there are three types of instructions: data transfer instructions, data processing instructions, and program control instructions. Data transfer instructions, as the name suggests, are responsible for transferring the data from one unit to another unit. Data processing instructions are responsible for processing the data as per the operation, and program control instructions are essentially used for transferring the control from one end to another end. Now, for example, suppose if you are executing a program which is making use of array, and if while executing that particular program, you input the array size, which is actually overwhelming that array, means it is passing the number of elements which can be stored in that particular array. So in that case, you will come across an error, that is stack overflow. Okay, so at that moment of time, this PC, that is the program control register, will hold the address of the subroutine where this stack overflow details are written. Okay, so from the current instruction, the control will get passed to this particular subroutine, that is the stack overflow subroutine. So wherein the program control instructions play a major role. Now, let us have a look at how processor handles the user instructions. Now for that, you just have to understand that every instruction is majorly divided into two parts: the operation and the address. Operation part, or the operation code, which is called as opcode, and address is nothing but it is used for holding the address of the operands. Now before some time, I gave one example, that is add a plus b, in which add can be identified as the opcode, which is conveying the addition operation, and a plus b, in that a and b can be called as operands. Okay, so every instruction is having two parts or two fields: opcode and address. By making use of these two fields, the CPU executes the instruction. Now, at the end of this particular video lecture, we will talk about some CPU states. Essentially, those states are conveying about the power management of CPU, how CPU saves the power by utilizing these states. So these states are advanced configuration and power interface states. Let's have a look. So typically, there are three different types of states: G, global state; S, system state; and P, performance state. Now every state has got its own significance. Let's start with G. G0, or we can call it as a very initial state, that is global state. Inside that, the child state is system state, that is S0. The description is written over here. When there is G0 state, the system or the CPU is in full active mode, that is full on mode. G1, that is global 1 state, under which the children or the child state is S3 cold, which stands for suspended to RAM, or the STR state. It means when you bring down your machine onto sleep mode, at that time, if it is into S3 cold state, it means the context of your work will get saved into memory or will get saved into RAM. That is why it is said as suspended to RAM. Okay. Coming to the next state, that is G1 S4 state. In this state also, you bring down your machine to sleep mode. But here, the suspension happens to disk. Means what? The contents get saved onto your disk. And here all power is lost. Now, what is the difference between S3 cold and S4? Of course, when the suspension is happening with RAM, then it needs more battery power because the RAM contents are needed to be refreshed after a certain moment of time. And so it consumes more battery power. But in case of G1 S4, you can actually save much battery power because here the contents are getting stored onto disk, which is non-volatile storage, right? That remains there in permanent stage. Coming to the next state, that is G2 S5, which is soft off, which is nothing but when you shut down your machine then your CPU comes to this particular state, which is called as G2S5. All power is lost here when you shut down your machine. Next state, which is G3, that is mechanical off, or all power removed from your system. It means when you actually pull on your plug, the electrical plug of your system, then your system goes into the state which is called as G3 state. And finally, talking about performance states, like I have mentioned here from P0 to Pn, these are certain states which are actually automatically adjusted by the processors with respect to the operations they are actually making. Means what? Suppose the processor is initially working with many different programs or with many different tasks, and gradually the tasks are getting completed. Then the processor gradually goes down into the deeper mode by underlocking, or I can say by minimizing the number of instructions, by minimizing its power with respect to the actual CPU cycle it is assigned with. Like for example, if your CPU is having the cycle in gigahertz, then slowly when it will go to the deep dive, when it will just go on minimizing the clock cycles to maybe megahertz. So that happens in the performance state of your CPU. So these are the different states with respect to the power management which the CPU is using in order to save the power. I hope you understood. Stay tuned and keep watching the videos.